Oh boy.
Come on, give us some connectivity when we got it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Live from My Mother's Basement. We're not in the basement right now. We're in my studio / apartment in North Hollywood, California. And we're laughing already because we haven't seen each other in a couple days.
Yeah, which is a long time for us.
And then before that, a couple of years because of the pandemic. And we're good friends. We've known each other a long, long time. So this is going to be a funny, silly reunion / great episode. This is my friend Antoinette, and if my mother was here, her name is Antoinette, she'd say, Antoinette! Peragine, everybody from Brooklyn.
Nice
Hello.
to see everybody.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
my
Hey,
darling.
Maron.
This guy, I love this guy so much.
Isn't this great?
Every time he comes into town, I'm like so excited, just to perform with him and see him and have coffee.
Have coffee. We got food tonight. We got chiclets.
Where are we looking? Are we looking down? Are we looking up?
We're supposed to look at each other.
Oh, we're looking at Oh, right.
We're supposed to look at each other.
Right.
Like professionals.
Right.
So how are you?
Right, exactly. Cheating out.
Yeah, we're cheating.
Yeah. Oh, somebody's texting.
Somebody's already texting. Leave us alone. We're busy.
We have things going on. And
got
I'm
a
not
lot
supposed
of-
to touch
we
the
got a
table.
lot of shit.
He's got a lot of rules.
Actually, if you remember, it was a rule when we were kids. Get your elbows off the table.
Absolutely.
Know
That's
that?
still the proper way is to do very little movement and never have your elbows touch the table.
My mother used to get your elbows off the table, and you were in a panic.
Right.
What if your father ever saw you with your elbows in the table?
It's true. We had a lot of rules when we were eating. We had to finish everything. I couldn't sit. I always had to sit properly, but I was a tomboy. So I used to sit actually with my feet up like this, like a monkey, up until I was like 18.
Do you remember? Finish everything in your plate.
Yeah.
You finish
Which is so
everything in your
wrong.
plate, because if you don't finish everything in your plate, there's starving kids in other countries that would give anything to eat with that, but you're spoiled, you sons of bitches.
It's true that you weren't allowed to go out and play.
Yeah. You can't get down. My mother would say, get down. Get down from the table. We weren't up. I don't know why it was get down. Get down. Maybe because you were in a high chair before then.
That's so...
You remember that? Get down.
Oh
You
my
can't get
God.
down.
It's the similarity of growing up the way we grew up and all of the things that people back east say that you say,
Is
and
it
you
an
think
East
everybody-
Coast thing,
I
or
think
is it where
so.
they're from? Because now my mother really is from a certain area of Italy where your family's probably from a completely different area. And
I don't know about that.
Well, where are you from?
We're from Bari, from the Adriatic,
Yeah.
right opposite Greece. I have a
no,
feeling
they called us the mountain guineas, dead center of Italy, mountains, no land,
like Abruzzi.
dairy farm, Abruzzese, yes. I'm
I know
Abruzzese.
that.
Well,
But
my
also
mother
the Abruzzese have blue eyes.
Yes.
They have kind of a strong chin. They have, they have light. They're light. I don't know where I'm looking. Please tell me where I'm
Look
looking.
wherever you want. Don't hit the table.
I'm all
You
confused.
see how it shakes? How confused are you?
I'm going to look here. But anyway, it's a beautiful thing to come from Abruzzi. That's very hilly.
Hilly.
And they have
Yes.
very, very nice
The
cheeses.
mountain guineas.
The
Cheeses.
mountain guineas. That's right.
We
That's
are-
not that far.
We are going to have so many people writing in to watch us talk. So I want everybody who's watching right now, wherever you are, just stay tuned. We're going to hang out. We're going to bullshit. We're going to talk about how we know each other, being Italian, sharing the stage together, and then we'll look at who's writing, and we'll take questions from everybody because I see them coming already.
They're
They're going to be up
coming in.
there. They're going to be down here too. See,
I'm
there's
really-
Rosetta Martati.
Rosetta? What are you doing?
You know Rosetta?
I think so.
No.
Rosetta, do you know me? I feel like you know me. Rosetta.
Rosetta Tati, we did an Instagram conversation yesterday. She's a trainer, and she shows you how to stay hydrated with this Bolero stuff that you put in water. And she was yelling at me last night because I drink Coca-Cola.
Oh, I know you do. I get mad when I'm performing with him.
I love a
because I
Coca-Cola.
see him drinking soda.
Tonight we have
no,
water.
you got you
Oh,
gotta-
somebody sent us
Ooh.
money. Is
oh
that
my
yours?
God.
You can
Wait,
send
is that
us.
me? Maybe that was me.
I hope it was me.
I just sent you money.
Oh, you sent me money? Folks, while you're watching the show here on Facebook, you can send us money.
Please.
Anywhere from 5 cents to 25 cents. Just send it. And when we hear the bell ring, we will laugh and scream and cheer because we think we made a lot of money.
Right,
but
because
we
we're
didn't.
two fucking
We're
idiots. Are we
stupid.
allowed to curse on
You
here?
can curse on my show.
Great, yeah.
Could you
Okay,
imagine
get
an Italian
excited.
girl from Brooklyn? I tell her not to curse. She has nothing to say.
You know, hanging out with you makes me like a real potty mouth. I noticed that after seeing you the other night. I've started to get like just tougher and funnier, thankfully.
Funnier. Well,
Thankfully. Mike, you slammed that crowd. I mean, I was looking around, people could not laugh bigger. It looked like their faces were hurting from smiling, and so was mine. It was such a funny set.
Wasn't it fun?
It was really fun, and I really enjoyed being back.
Wish,
This was 4 years.
I wish I wasn't under so much pressure backstage thinking about the show and running the show, because I really should have videotaped you going, I can't go on.
I was like,
I don't want to do it.
Right when you turned around and you looked at me and you were like, what's the matter? And I'm like, I don't know, Mike. I'm like, it's fucking packed out there. It's been 4 years since I've been on stage, and I had all new material. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Antoinette? Why are you doing this tonight? So then I was trying to like run my set and try to remember like some of the old shit.
Yes.
Yeah. But it worked out.
I was looking for, you did great.
I know.
And everybody was like, oh, the girl was fantastic, because she was the only girl in the show.
I was the only girl. And I was
The
running
girl
leather
was
pants.
fantastic.
And I had on hot boots, but I have on hot boots right now.
There, bada boom, bada boom.
Hey, I
Money,
will do it.
money. Somebody sent money.
Money with the boots.
I have sneakers on. All right.
All right, let's get serious.
We got to
Mike.
get serious.
Yeah, and stop touching the table.
We got to
Okay.
get your hands off the table.
Okay, stop.
We have to go back to when we met. Let's start everybody off with how we actually know each other. You want to take it from here?
Do you actually remember where we know
No,
each other
I
from?
don't.
That's why he's making me take it.
Well,
was
I
know,
remember
he doesn't
somewhat.
remember. Okay, I had a show at Luna Park or Maskers Cabaret, some club that's not there anymore. And it was a show called Funny as Shit, right? And I had seen Mike, and I was just started doing, like, it was like maybe stand up for a couple of years. This is exposition that we don't need. But I saw Mike, and I was like, I have to get this guy in my show. And you started doing my show.
Is
and
that
you
right?
were, yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about? Luna Park?
Luna Park was a big
Right.
deal.
And then we did the improv together.
Yeah.
And then we just started kind of like showing up in the same places, didn't we? Where were you?
Well, I was the one running Maskers Cabaret on Tuesday night on 3rd Street.
That's it. So that's
Me and that girl, Christy McBrayer. She was the country fried chicken type girl. What'd she call herself? Country something something. She was a
remember her.
Southerner girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a long time.
Oh,
What-
my God.
How long ago? How long do we know each other? Because I was kind of getting all the nostalgia.
Well, let's see.
I was like so happy that we know each other still.
It's
and we're
30
still on the
years.
stage together.
30. It is 30 years. Because I started stand up when that age, and then that's when I was hitting Luna Park.
And also you did the
I remember
Guidos.
Luna Park, Night of 1,000
Night of
Guidos.
1,000 Guidos. That was the last time I saw you, between me having kids and then like just like I couldn't do one more show because I was like just my kids were too little and it was too strenuous. But that was the last time I saw you, and
Really?
it was for a while. I think we lost touch for like 4 or 5 years.
I remember most of the time I thought I saw you was at the Comedy Store.
Well, for sure.
We played the Comedy Store, the world famous Comedy Store in Hollywood. They had a specific show for the Italians called The Night of 1,000 Guidos, and you name it, everybody did that show
That was
from Italian
great.
descent. I actually still have flyers from the show, and I
do
have a
too.
flyer with Joe Rogan on it.
Wow.
And I never really remembered him being Italian, but he is.
He is
And
Italian,
supposedly he's
and
either from Boston or New Jersey.
He's from Boston.
So he was in the show. And then remember Vinny Favorito, Sebastian Maniscalco.
Sebastian. I did a couple of shows with Sebastian.
We all did. Wheels
Yeah.
Parisi, Brett Ernst,
Brett Ernst. Yeah. Oh my
Luca
God.
Palenka, Tammy Pascatelli.
Tammy Pescatelli. I love Tammy, and I love me some Luca Palanca.
Well, you
I
guys
still,
know.
I still do. I still think of Luca when I'm on stage because Luca, when I first started stand up, he wasn't a stand up. And he came and watched me. He's like, Tom, he goes, you're fucking funny. He goes, that's great. And then I would show him some of my jokes. He goes, you got to say this at the end. I was like, that's funny. Like, let me just say this. Shout out to Luca. When I first met Luca Palanca, I picked him up at the airport with I don't remember the guy's name. And I did it for my boyfriend at the time. And I picked him up, and the two of them had me laughing so hard. I actually knew at that moment I wasn't a stand-up. but I knew I'm in the presence of a really talented stand-up. And that's why I'm so happy that that Luca is a stand-up.
He's a great guy.
Great guy.
I remember when we're talking about this Italian comedian from Brooklyn who used to show up and you thought John Travolta just stepped out of the 2000 Space Odyssey. He wore a white V-neck T-shirt with a black leather jacket. Could be
Always.
freezing outside,
Right.
or could be too hot.
Right.
And black pants and boots, constantly smoking. And I remember the night I met this guy, Luca Palanca. He comes in with this white, huge Cadillac into the parking lot of the comedy store. It looked like it didn't fit in the driveway. And he crashed into the back of my Jeep.
I was there that night.
I'm looking at him like, this guy just hit my Jeep.
I remember that.
And I go over to him and I go, hey, man, you just hit my Jeep. And he goes, oh, is that yours? And I'm like, I love this guy.
I mean, amazing. And he used to, like, it doesn't matter, 20 degrees below zero, he still had the same leather jacket on. And we went to Aspen because I produced a short that actually...
Money, keep on sending us money. Money. That's money. Somebody hit the bell. Hit the bell. You can actually pay to watch this show. It's only a quarter or a nickel or a dime.
Whatever you have.
Yes,
Whatever you have. Whatever you have.
The story is fantastic, though, isn't it? Okay, so you're talking about Aspen?
Oh, yeah. No, just that it was just so funny that when you're from Brooklyn or from back east and you're Italian, like you have that leather jacket, there's no way you're wearing a parka, there's no way you're wearing a hat, you won't even wear gloves. And it was just hilarious. Like it was fucking freezing, but we just, the leather is the thing.
And it was just so much fun. And I remember one time we did do a night of 1,000 Guidos, and they put all those tablecloths on all the tables that looked like a backyard picnic. The red and the white checkers.
Yeah.
And then
that was great.
there was one time when, weren't you friends with Kathy Moriarty?
Yes.
I don't know who brought her.
Don't even, no, it was Luca that brought her.
Okay.
And actually, I think we drove her home that night.
I remember she needed a ride home.
I remember that. It was like a really...
Money, send us the money.
But yeah, no, it was amazing. The stories at Mulberry
We
Street
need money.
Pizza.
This is our ugly Christmas tree.
We need money
more.
for one,
we
two,
need some
three,
balls.
4 ornaments. 4. That's all we need, folks, is 4 ornaments.
4.
Send us some money.
Tell the story. How did she get there? Because I remember she was supposed to be the host, and Andrew Dice Clay, whose last name is Silverstein, was supposed to be the headliner, and all the young up-and-coming comedians went on in between. And then it didn't happen that way. It became a clusterfuck.
It did because she wasn't in shape. She wasn't in good shape for whatever reasons to MC the show. And the reason she was there was because Luca worked at Mulberry Street Pizza. And Kathy owned Mulberry Street Pizza. So that's kind of how she came to be,
There's some
the
cool
MC.
history there.
There's just a lot of
An Italian
stories.
kid from Brooklyn slinging pizzas with the owner, Kathy Moriarty, and all the other wise guys.
Richie. And Richie was married.
Albano, right?
No, Richie, no.
Who's Lou Albano?
No, Richie.
Anthony
oh my God,
Albano?
what is
Who's
his
the
name?
Albanos?
If anybody knows what Richie's last name is. Richie was married to Raquel Welch at that time. I think after he was married to Kathy, he married Raquel Welch.
It wasn't Richie Albano?
I don't know that name. Richie, what is this
Isn't
name?
it-
Richie, it's not even an Italian name. I think it's a Jewish name. Anyway, I liked Richie. Richie,
Yes.
if you're listening.
It was the good old days.
It was great. It was
a
so
fun,
great.
fun time. No cell phones.
It was
No
great.
doo-doo-doos.
No doo-doo-doos.
You
I haven't
caused
heard
trouble.
that in a
Nobody
long
knew
time.
about it.
Exactly. Can I just say something?
Yeah.
I heard, I don't want to say what store because I'm always very careful, but I went to go get fake nails, actually for the show.
Oh.
I swear to God. And I go and I see this whole rack. Anyway, they had like locks on the nails. And I'm like, why would they have to lock down nails of all things? I had to wait 40 minutes to get somebody to come over. And I'm like,
because-
and she said, because the young people, I can't believe I'm saying this, but anyway, they steal. And I'm like, well, what? It's right by the door. Can't you catch them? And she goes, even if we catch them, we can't do anything about it. And I was thinking, where I'm from, they would take you in the back. Like, forget about insurance. They'd take you in the back. They'd sit you down. They might even raise their hand to you. You couldn't do shit. You couldn't get away with shit. Now you get away with everything. And I just don't
Could you
understand. There's
imagine?
like no law in the land is what's happening. I don't get.
I don't know anything about going to get nails. and I didn't know that you could lock nails down.
You can.
But I
do.
understand this type of thing because yesterday, now I don't even know if I could say this.
Right, I know. See,
I
You
went
see how we
into I
can't say
went no no
things?
no I'm saying for other different reasons, but
Oh.
you'll find out why. I went into the CVS and I wanted to buy for a friend. I wanted to buy
Condoms?
well yes condoms. Well
Condoms.
no I didn't want to buy condoms.
You
I'm
didn't
too
want.
old.
Your
I don't
friend
need them.
wanted you to buy them.
Well there was something next to the condoms that would have been
Lube.
yes and it's locked. You gotta
Wow.
you gotta ask somebody in
That's
the store
embarrassing.
for keys.
Yeah, oh
Could you
God,
so
that's-
could you imagine? Excuse me, listen, I mean to bother you.
Right.
Can you unlock the lube door? I just want to get. I want to.
It's not good.
It's not that I want it. I want to see how much it is. You got to turn it around.
Right.
Um,
So embarrassing.
There's an anal glide I'd like to get because my kid.
Yeah. That's
You
what it's
know,
like.
how do you, I remember when I first went to get condoms when I was a kid. You went. The condoms were behind the counter
That's right.
at a
That's right.
7-Eleven.
That's really embarrassing.
And you had to say, "Excuse me, my dad sent me here for condoms. He don't want any more kids. He hates me." This could be
You
good
had like
stand-up
a,
routine.
you had a strategy, which I really like.
Yeah.
You're always thinking. Mike Marino, you're very fast on your feet.
Thank you.
You are very fast on your feet, and I really appreciate that. I am addicted to human intelligence, and this man not only is funny, but you're intelligent. And I'm not blowing smoke. I enjoy that you are sensitive when you're on stage to any sudden movement. I swear to God, like somebody gets up, he's like, "Hey." I'm like, how do you fucking see that? And like, it's 200
going?
people. Where are you going?
Where you
It's
going?
really, really funny. Yeah, it was great. Thank you for having me.
Going back in time and thinking about what we were doing at a time where life was completely different. Whatever you said on stage wasn't held against you. It was just whether somebody liked it or not.
Right.
I was never a filthy comedian. I didn't do anything nasty. And for the most part, my conversation on stage is about me and my life. So if anybody's offended by it, well, then I'm sorry you're offended by what I go through. Even my pain or my symptoms or whatever it is.
Right, it's your point of view.
Now, yes, we do have to be a little bit more careful. So we put a show together this past Saturday night, and that's what Antoinette's talking about. I thought she was still doing stand-up. I didn't know you stopped.
Well, no, I stopped. Don't you remember April 23rd, 2020? I had a show, Antoinette and Friends, and Mike Marino was one of the guys on the bill. You were not opening, but like a headlining or whatever. And then I got shut down. And then I did stand up once on a Zoom, and I was just like, fuck this.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I'm not doing this.
Fuck this
and then I
shit.
turned it into a talk show, which I'm really enjoying doing. So then I was like, okay, well, it's time to get back. And I feel like people are not as sensitive now. Like they're
Yes.
coming out of COVID and people are willing to kind of laugh more and go easy on. Listen, if we don't have comedy that points at like the things that we all think and all of our experiences, like then we're lost because we need comedians, we need comedy, and we need a point of view that's levity, that makes it light.
Makes
in
you
other
forget
words.
about life
Yeah.
for a while, like the Piano Man. So we did this show Saturday night. We had a lot of fun. It was sold out. You couldn't move. It's at a new place called the Comedy Chateau here on Lancashire Boulevard
That
in
was
North
great.
Hollywood, which we were normally playing across the street. So this time we figured we'd try something different. We put together an Italian Christmas show.
It was great.
First few comedians weren't really hitting the way they were supposed to. And then Antoinette's backstage going, I don't want to go next.
I'm like, hamana. I literally looked at Mike, and Mike was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Mike, I don't know. I don't know. He's like, get out. What are you doing?" He said, "Get out there." And I just was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know." I was having a
I want to be a
moment.
star, sweetheart. Get out there now.
I had a moment. I admit, I had a moment. But then once I hit the stage, then I'm fine.
Isn't it amazing once you get on the stage and you feel like, wow,
It's a great
do
feeling.
you know who I am?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm here
Antoinette.
now.
Yeah,
I'm here now.
I'm here. I'm gonna hit this place.
Yeah.
Sit back, don't move, and now you're addicted again.
Totally.
Right.
Totally. I was like, the next morning, I'm like, all right, who do I know? Who's got rooms? I mean, seriously, I need to get out there again. And I know you did it to me, but I knew you were gonna. I was just like, you know what the funny thing is? I said no to like maybe 25 shows during COVID. People were calling me, do a show. And I wasn't feeling it. And it was weird that I wasn't feeling it. And then my mom passed almost a year. So December 30th, and my mom was she died at 99. Yeah, it was just, like your mother. I mean, I see your mother reminds me of my mother. But then I was like, something said to me when he called. He's like, hey, we're going to do an Italian Christmas show. You in? And I heard my mother go, go do. And I was like, said yes. I didn't even have anything new to say. I didn't even know what I could say, post COVID. But I'm like, fucking A, it's with Mike Marino. It's going to be a bunch
Money.
of Woo!
We got $1. Listen, I want to hear this sentiment. But before his comment goes away, let's do a shout out to our lovely friend who we know a long, long time. He's actually commenting your boots right now. These boots were made for walking. Who else would put together an Italian show with a host from Kentucky? Us. Stevie D, ladies and gentlemen. We've been hanging out with him for way too long, quite honestly. He stays here. We can't stop laughing. I tell him all the time, why are you leaving the blow dryer? How offended. I'm offended.
It's gotten to the point where I can't even do a show unless he's bringing me to the stage.
He's the best.
He is the best. He has that fucking vibe and that 70, he just makes you happy.
Money.
Woo!
With cash.
Okay, listen, money. If you give us some money, a couple of quarters, we're not asking for much. I will show you my boots again, but the special part of the boot.
I don't even know what that is.
It is. There's a
Somebody send us another nickel. I need to see the bottom of this boot. The bottom of the boot. The Italian boot. The Italy boot.
No, I wore these for you, Mike.
Stevie D, thank you, buddy. We miss you. We love you. Thank you so.
Oh!
Got to see the boot. See the boot. She's sending money. They're sending money.
They're sending money for the boot?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. What could we get to? Let's try to get to
there's more money.
Let's get to $5, and then you can see the boot. We got to $5?
50 cents, 10 cents.
Give me the grand total.
Wait. I don't know how to move this.
To see my boots.
All right, so 50, 60. Oh, we had 60, $1.10, 210, 210, 220, 220, 230, 330, $3.30. Mario Macaluso, he's in Brooklyn.
God! I know Mario.
$4.50.
Mario knows me.
Wait a minute.
Stop shaking the table. Sorry. I'm excited.
We got $4.50. $5.10. Oh no! Somebody just sent $2. All right, so we got $6.50.
Here we go. Boots coming in.
Boot.
Check it out. Look at the gold part. You see the gold? The gold's not from Brooklyn.
I don't even know how you got your leg up on this table.
I don't know
this.
either.
I don't know how old you are, but I couldn't do that in a lifetime. Holy shit.
Yes, you can.
Thank you for the money.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. I hope you enjoyed my boot.
She actually just booted the screen for $6.20.
Yeah.
It's on this one.
Oh, okay.
All right. So anyway, we had a great time at the Comedy Chateau. It was this past Saturday night.
And there was a second room in there. I didn't know that. I was
a
wondering, there were
room.
comics coming into the green room, and I'm like, they don't look Italian. They don't seem Italian.
No.
And then they was like, no, we're going into
We
another
took
room.
the big room.
We did.
We took the big room, and we were asked to go back. So when they called me yesterday and said, hey, come back, let's do another show, I said, okay, we're going to do an Italian show again, but this time we're going to do two shows, a 7:30 and a 9:30 show. This way, people don't have to, sit on top of each other like that.
It was packed.
It was so packed.
You couldn't fit
They
one more
turned
person
people
in the
away,
room.
actually. I
Did
got
they?
yelled at.
I was so happy that
some
my
of my
friends got
friends
to
were like,
make it in.
I couldn't get in, and they were like, what happened?
I knew that was going to happen, too. It was great. It was fucking great.
We've never done a show there like that. I don't think they've even seen a show like that.
It was insane.
Bunch of Guidos and Guidettes.
Oh, so fun. And I loved being the only girl. That was really fun.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever been the only girl. That was great. It was so fun. And I loved Marco.
Marco Asante.
Asante.
He's very, very funny guy.
Very funny.
Thank you so much. People keep sending money now. Thank you. Thank you. Make us rich. Anybody got $1 million? We'll get a new laptop. We'll make a movie. We'll call it, Night of 1,000 Guidos.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, good. Very, very original.
So tell us about, your family. Where in Italy are they actually from? And before we go into that, let me do a shout out to Tatiana Bluchel.
I love Tatiana. I'm taking out my scented gum because I needed to freshen my breath.
She wanted to have fresh breath on the show, which is a very nice thing. And I had these classics on the table. Anybody remember these?
Put your hand up if you remember these. We grew up with these.
I put this on the table because I wanted to talk about them. Scented gum, chow words. After eating, smoking, or drinking, you eat this. It actually says after smoking.
That's
You have this,
amazing. It still says that?
right? 8 pieces, chewing gum, fragrance that refreshes.
Okay, but
It's
you know
a
what
fragrance.
this is? But it's licorice. It's a licorice.
You whistled. Did you hear?
Did I licorice? I have a lisp. No, but this is what this is. Does anybody know what this is? We grew up in Brooklyn, well, New Jersey.
What is
so
this?
I can't believe you don't know
the
this.
gum.
It's a gum, but it's like a chiclet, but it has a very specific taste. Thank you.
Money.
Money. A very specific taste. So anyway, I came in and I had a little bit of breath freshening. So now you're going to give a shout out to who? I'm sorry. I just
Well,
interrupted.
a lot of people are writing in now. And the reason why I put that on the table is because I'm going to be doing my impersonation of my Uncle Tom.
Oh my God! Those
See?
are great. Those are like chocolate.
Necco, the original candy wafer from 1847.
That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy? And I've been doing
Not
some
really that
videos. So
tasty.
my Uncle Tommy was at the video. I'll be going like, "Hey, you sons of bitches, this is the good candy right there." So I like old things. I like to
do
talk
too.
about them. I like to. So that's why I want to ask you. Okay, born in Brooklyn.
Okay, so
What-
I'm born in Brooklyn, but my parents were born in Italy. Well, my father was born in New York, but then he went right back to Italy. So I come from Italian family, and I speak Italian. And every summer or every other summer, I would spend 2 months in Italy. So I kind of feel like I was like kind of different in my neighborhood because there was Italian Americans, but we were like really like provolone hanging in my basement. We grew the tomatoes in the backyard. My mother had the thing that like kind of smashed the tomatoes, and then you would jar it, and then you'd have to have like the certain mason jar, whatever, just garlic hanging. Like we always had meals that were completely, never had like store-bought stuff,
Right.
And that's
Yes.
was your mother too. So anyway, we were from Italy. And what was the other question?
I don't know. I keep on making money. It threw me for a curveball.
He's not even paying attention
No,
to
I'm
me
paying
because
attention.
the money's coming
We're gonna
in.
get this. Well, money trumps
It does
provolone.
at this particular juncture. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It's funny. Is our family did the same thing. We grew up in the basement. They jarred we called it gravy. Most people
Gravy?
called it sauce.
Gravy?
You said gravy too? We said
Absolutely.
gravy.
Sauces. What is sauce? I don't even know what we
Azúcar.
said sauce for. I never really used that
When
word.
it was marinara or marinara.
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 When I saw your mother, by the way, when there was those clips of your mother, I was like, I felt like like it was very touching for me.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
It's-
very touching.
I'm lucky that I did it. I'll tell everybody. My father's alive. He's 86. Call your family every day.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you can't stand it, do it. Because it's torture
Thank you.
sometimes.
Thank you.
Thank you for the
That
money.
was for family. For family.
And make videos. Make funny videos. Make them do stupid shit. And you'll
Yeah.
have it forever.
Yep.
I made my mother and we did a scene from Goodfellas.
Yeah. You
And
should play that. Do you play it, or
I don't
you
know
go
how to do that type
you
of
go
a
to
thing.
go. We have to teach you how to do that. You can go to his YouTube and you can see his mother trying to act. It was so much like what Scorsese's mother. That was so cute.
That's what it was supposed to be,
It was
kind
so
of.
cute.
That was what it
Yeah.
was supposed to
Thank
be.
you.
And what happened was I was filming a comedy special. And the director and the producer were staying at my house. So I grabbed my mother and said, "Come on, listen, let's go make some behind the scenes." And she wasn't going to do it right. And I said to the guy, I go, "Listen, just let her be. Because she's not going to do what we tell her to do. Just let her be." And all of a sudden, my mother goes like this. "Well, I'm improving. That's spontaneity. I'm very spontaneous."
so cute.
Oh,
She
I'd
was
give anything for her to
adorable.
be around.
She was adorable. Yeah. But anyway, we did grow up. I had the basement. That's where you had that's where everybody hung out. My mother had a sewing machine. She made all my clothes. This is a special moment in time, and I did get sad, not to get all morbid, but when the COVID happened and things started changing, I was really present with the fact that that world and that life and that time was kind of fading,
Yes.
you know? And then talking, and when you bring me back and we do these New York shows and these Italian shows, it really makes me very, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice. But it makes me very happy because it makes me go back to the time where we were just really engaged with people on the street, and you knew your neighbors and your neighbors looked out for you. And it was just like a time where you also learned. Like somebody says to me, why are you so like I'm people savvy, you know?
Yes.
And I think, why am I people savvy? Because in Brooklyn and New York and New Jersey, you have to deal with people. You have to be able to measure if somebody's going to kill you, if somebody's going to hire you. Like it's something where you have to constantly know who's in front of you. And I don't know, I miss that time.
It's so amazing that you just said what you said,
Why
because
is that?
this morning on my morning walk and yesterday on my morning walk, I do an Instagram live.
Yes, I watch
And I talk about just walking around. And I walk the track in Burbank. There's usually nobody there.
Right.
But every once in a while, someone comes close to me. And there's nobody around, but they're close to me. And I look right into my camera and I go, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you how I grew up. If someone is coming up behind you like this, you step to your left and you pretend you're going someplace different. And I do that because I'm right-handed. This way, if I have to clock this motherfucker, I got the edge.
That's
I
so
turn to the left with the left arm, and I punch. Money! Woo! But I
That's
so
crazy.
grew up that way.
You're kind of like, this
Step
is
to
like
the
a,
left.
a very big deal. And as a woman, when you see somebody coming down the street, right? There's so many things that go from New York. You have to be aware. And you go like, okay, you're measuring, and you don't want to go across the street, because then you don't want to show them that you're upset or you're mad or you're mad that they're taking up your space or that you're afraid. But it's like a really strange thing. And I'm very aware. I was just talking about this. So weird we're talking about this. Personal space. You could be sardines smashed on the subway, but everyone in New York knows that you have to give a certain amount of space. And if you go closer than that allotted space, that's seen as an aggressive act.
Yes, it's called get out of my space, I will knock you out.
Right.
Why don't you know any better?
Right.
So
Like,
when
what's
I'm
your
walking on a
problem?
track and people come near me with all the room that's out there, my antennas go up and I protect myself.
Yeah.
Knock you out.
Right.
Money.
Woo! Isn't it also, can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
One of the things also that's interesting is that when you come from where we come from, even though you may have never had a fight, there's a part of you that is tough, and you feel like if you had to fight, you would be okay. It's just a weird thing. It's a mentality. That
Yeah,
you
oh,
work
yeah.
with them. People used to say to me, "Why are you so tough? You've never even been in a fight." I'm like, "Yeah, but if I have to be in a fight, I'm going.
I'm going down.
I'm going."
I'm taking you down with me.
Yeah.
I'm going to do everything I can.
Right.
I'll
Totally.
punch first.
Swing my leg. What were you going to say? I just cut you off. I'm
No
sorry
problem,
about
no
that.
problem. I wanted to do a shout out to Tatiana before
Love
we move
Tatiana.
forward, because we're going to grab some food, because now I'm really hungry.
I'm hungry too, and I'm thirsty.
Our producer, Tatiana Blueshell, who does the podcast here, Live from My Mother's Basement. She also is the producer of my Make America Italian Again web series. She's also the producer of The Adventures of G.I. Giovanni, The Life
was
of the
so
G.I.
funny.
Joe dolls. She's a great writer. When we shoot, man, it's like so stupid, like children playing with dolls.
It's awesome. She
But
is
it's
awesome.
fun.
Shout
Well,
out.
she's also a makeup artist, and she does beauty makeup, and she also does creepy makeup for special effects.
That's good to know.
So there's a movie coming out this weekend, starts Thursday through the weekend. It's called themeanonemovie.com. Go to themeanonemovie.com. She created the lead creature. Now, if you've watched the movie, what's the movie with Cindy Lou, and Grinch, the Grinch.
Grinch.
So the Grinch Stole Christmas, right? Well, in this movie, you can watch the trailer. I don't know if you like horror movies.
I hate horror
I'm very
movies.
jealous because I want to be in this fucking movie.
Really?
Oh, I would love to be in this type of
Do you
movie.
like horror movies?
Yes.
You do?
It's scary.
I don't like any
So
of
in the
that.
trailer, you see the Grinch, but he's a bad guy, a murderer. Chop, chop, chop. He's the new Freddy Krueger in this
that's
movie,
funny.
and she made him that creature.
Really? And,
And
she
her-
created the look of that?
Yes.
I want to
Well,
see
it looks
Well,
like
how
the
do we
Grinch.
see it? We got
The
to go.
mean
You
one
just said
movie.com.
themeanonemovie.com.
Because if you
Okay.
remember in the song, he's the mean one,
Right.
Mr. Grinch.
Right.
Well, now in this movie, he really is the mean one. He's creepy as shit. Has something to do with the little girl, Cindy Lou Who, or whatever, her, down in Whoville.
Cindy Hulu. Lulu.
And she did the makeup, and the creature's really, really creepy. But her name's in the credits. So I'm very, very proud of my producer, Tatiana. Big shout out, guys.
Tatiana.
The movie's in the credits, says, special effects by Tatiana
I
Lucia.
love that.
Isn't that
Congratulations,
cool?
Tatiana. Let's
Yeah.
get a quarter. Anybody got a
Where's
quarter
the
for
money?
Tatiana? Come
Where's
on!
the nickels? TheMeanOneMovie.com. Check it out.
How do we see people what they're saying?
Oh,
There's so
well,
many
you can see up
people.
top, but you can see down here. Watch.
We're
See,
waving
there's
at all
Bill
of
Boyd,
you.
Junie. See all the peeps. $200. That's $2.
Nice.
Paul Sims. Paul Sims has a radio show. It's called Autism Speaks, and it's all about families living with children or adults with autism. And I've been on his show many times. He's been on my show. Great, great guy.
That's amazing.
So growing up Italian in Brooklyn, growing up Italian from New Jersey, here we are in California. And one of my favorite places, and I've talked about it many, many times, is Foggia Italian Market and Deli. You got to go to this place.
Where is it?
Lakewood. It's
I
down
don't
by
even know where
Long
Lakewood
Beach.
is.
I know. I didn't know where it
Like
was either.
Lakewood. I've been here for 30 years. Where's Lakewood?
It's far. But Linda and Bob Quattro, they own this place. They named it after the city that they're from, Foggia. And I always go down there, and they hook me up. It's an Italian deli with the most incredible stuff. There's sawdust on the ground,
Oh my God.
olive
like a
oils,
real, like
all
a
kinds
butcher
of,
shop.
Right.
Like,
So we went down there and we got ourselves some healthy foods. Are you jigging?
look.
Show everybody your.
I am. And I had to dress it first.
Yes, it's chicken on top of arugula and all kinds of great spinach.
Will we be rude if we're eating?
We're gonna eat while
Is
you
that
eat,
okay?
while I talk.
Everybody
I eat while
take
you
a
talk.
bite. We all take a bite
Take a
together.
bite.
It's not rude if we all take a bite.
No, and I'm
This
gonna
I
throw-
love. Wait, I gotta just say this. Wait, sorry. Look at this. This we had in my kitchen my whole life. This,
Right?
Yeah. That's called like a caddy, like a Susie
I
caddy
don't know
or
what
whatever
it's
the
called.
fuck
It's called the thing. Give me the thing.
Give me the thing. Pass me the thing.
I
Yeah, do you
have
want a
a
napkin?
salad over here that's supposed to be a Greek salad. No, you got the Greek.
I got the Greek.
I
and
got
the
the,
Greek with chicken. Do you want some of this?
No, I'm good with this one. I got the burrata. This is a burrata.
Say it
Why'd that
properly.
make you laugh?
No, because of the way you said it.
Burrata?
Because you're like burrata.
It's the
Just say
burrata.
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 Boo.
Rata.
And Italian goes, boo, asshole. Hey, don't make me get up. I'll scare you. I'll scare you. Let's do a stand-up routine.
Let's do it.
We're
We're
dead.
like- we-
No. Here
Now-
it is.
Oh, right now?
Here is the thing. Here's the scene. We died. We got killed in a mob hit, and we don't want to move out of our house.
So we're ghosts?
So we're ghosts now, and people are moving in, and we got to scare them to get them out. All right?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Go.
Go.
Action.
Action.
I don't know. We're just going to be eating here. Don't mind us.
What kind of people just moved in? This is disgusting. Let's get rid of them. How are we going to get rid of them? Boo!
Boo.
Boo! Boo! Hey, you ain't scary.
I'm not.
You were scarier when you were alive. You were scarier when you were alive. You're the reason why we got killed.
Now you see. Now I'm going to get completely engrossed in my food. I don't know
Wait
if
a
that's
minute. Hey.
okay.
This is really good.
Very tasty.
Is that good?
What's the name of the place?
Foggia Italian Market and Deli.
Okay,
Look 'em
Foggia.
up. Foggia.
Foggia
I say it wrong.
is really close to where I'm from. Foggia is a beach town, if I remember correctly. Matinata is the beach, and Foggia is like I think Foggia is like here. Wait, let me show you on the boot. I think. Tell me if I'm right. I think Foggia is here. I don't know. I feel embarrassed that I don't know where that is. We used to go camping there in Italy. Actually, I learned about sex in Foggia. I did. Because I was little and my sisters were older and they were really kind of sexy and hot and everything. And then they met
Foggia's
these
a
guys.
little higher than the boot.
Oh, is it?
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
I just got that. Give us 25 cents.
What is that? That's the
Oh
Foggia.
my God, where is Foggia? So somebody should tell us. I'm embarrassed that I don't know, but I did spend time there. Anyway, this food is amazing. Thank you. Thank you for
I like this. It's very, very
for
good.
giving this to us. I'm very appreciative right now.
I'm going to let Antoinette tell you a story about what I'm going to put in front of the camera right now. Watch this.
Oh my God.
Lately, I got sponsored by Zeppela Mix. These are empty bags because I couldn't travel with them. But when you go to a nice Italian festival,
Feast.
you get this. Well, now you can get it on the internet at zeppelamix.com.
That's amazing.
But you can also get it at Foggia Italian Market in Delhi in Lakewood. Thank
Like
you,
real-
Mike Marino.
Mike Marino. You're kidding.
Yeah, because I called him up and I said, you got to check this out. So
Okay, well,
today,
let's tell the people what it is.
You go.
Okay, when you go if you're in New York or in the tri-state area, they will shut down. I don't know who does this, but somebody on the block or the street decides that they're going to do a feast. And it's really cool because the streets are always packed with people. No cars. You have to take all the cars off the street. They bring in trucks. They bring in, what do you call them? Like arcades where you throw shit and you have to like knock down shit and then you get a,
carnies.
what?
They're carnies.
Like
Yeah, the carnival guys.
Carnival guys, right? Carnival guys. And at the Italian feast, they always had the truck that had zeppelis, and zeppelis are like dough that they plop. They just plop wet dough, and it plops in and they deep fry it, and then they shake powdered sugar on it. It sounds so unhealthy, and it probably is, but it's like a trademarked taste of being from back east and being Italian.
And being at a feast.
And being at a
it's
feast.
delicious. And you put this powdered sugar on it, and you put it in a brown bag,
Great.
and you shake it.
You shake it, and all the oil it stains the bag.
Stains the bag.
You don't care.
No, you
No, it's
want
even
it to
good,
do that.
right? It's even good.
It's better that way.
Is this a jalapeno?
Now you can get it on the internet
Oh, the cucumber.
No,
It's okay.
cucumber.
Sorry. Just having a moment.
at zeppelamix.com. Use promo code Mike Marino and get yourself 30% off. But I am proud to say that now Foggia Italian Market in Delhi, right here in Lakewood, is carrying the product.
That's amazing. See, well done.
Yes.
I appreciate you for that. You go out of your way to keep a tradition going and to share the tradition.
Mm-hmm.
I think that deserves a couple of quarters.
Where's my
Two
quarter?
quarters.
Thumbs
Quarters.
up.
Come on.
Look, somebody just wrote, wait, you're from
Wait.
New York, Antoinette? No, she's from Kentucky.
Actually, Giancarlo Ganziano is his name.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Cut frame?
Cut one frame. He's an editor. He's a fantastic film editor. How are you? How are you, Giancarlo Ganziano? Oh, hey, oh, how you doing, right? I'm gonna
can't stop eating.
Come over there. It's delicious.
It's really, really good.
And I know what I love? Let me just show you this. Not only are there tomatoes in here, but they're stuffed tomatoes with cheese, which is an added thing.
I
which
think
is
you got
really-
gorgonzola cheese.
This is like
I
way
got something
amazing.
different.
You did. It's really
This
great.
is more like a mozzarella. A mutz.
Mozzarella.
Ah, mozzarella.
Oh, so let me ask you a question, Mike.
How fluent are you?
I'm fluent as I speak Italian as well as I speak English. So
Really?
as well as
How
I speak
fucking
English.
great is that?
It is. It's kind of amazing. Like sometimes I think of the word in Italian and I have to think of the word in English because Italian is so descriptive. Like the words are like, say, like three different thoughts in one word. So sometimes I actually think of the word. I'm like, wow, is there a word in English that really conveys that? Plus, I have to say, didn't you feel like you really got your sense of humor because your mother and father were Italian?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Italians, they just have great senses of humor. And then you add, in my case, in your case too, you add the New York to the Italian. And I think because you have to laugh there, you have to laugh to get through the day. I just think there's something really kind of challenging about the New York City streets. and you have to deal with so many different types of people that you have to make fun of things. I know most of my family are really funny, and most of my friends are really funny. So there has to be a reason for that.
I seriously did not know I had an accent till I moved to California. I thought I was normal. I didn't even know
not.
I sounded any different than anybody else. I was not aware that I cursed that much. Now, it's not an Italian thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's not from Italy.
No.
It's a New Jersey thing or a New York thing.
Yeah, totally.
Everybody says to me, man, you have a great accent from Italy. I'm like, no. My mother has an accent from Italy,
Sorry,
and
that's
she
really
doesn't
funny.
sound like me at all.
No.
She talk like this.
Yeah.
Everything
She's
was
just
this.
so nice. Sid,
Now,
nice.
yeah.
Have a food.
But me and my two brothers were not allowed to speak Italian because my mother would always say, tick a lock, she'd say, tick a lock. We're Americans now. Because my mother was afraid.
Well, that's
She
interesting.
thought
A lot of people
we're
were
going to
like
get
that.
in a lot of trouble because we're the Italians. We should watch it.
Wow, that's
And that's
so
real.
interesting.
And
Now,
my
why is
mother's
that? Because
sisters
your
and brothers, they didn't even speak English.
So you couldn't communicate with them unless you
No. And then when my parents wanted to have a conversation without you knowing, they just spoke Italian.
Yeah.
I had
exactly.
Thanksgiving at my house this Thanksgiving. I'm
With
trying.
with your dad.
My dad
At your
and a
house.
few relatives on my mom's side. I'm trying to carry the torch.
Good for you.
And my mother would have the Thanksgiving
Did you
dinner.
cook?
I did. Well, no, we ordered. Everybody brought something.
Oh, it was a potluck.
And I remember my mother would always say, whatever she wanted in Italian, and then she'd say something in English, and we knew we were being lied to. But I'm going to do this joke, but we always had the kids'
That's
table,
funny.
and it was like 20 kids at the kids' table. Then the adults' table was actually a 4x8 sheetrock piece of wood that went over a stupid fucking chair. Because we were broke. Everybody was broke.
And you get splinters
Yeah.
underneath it.
Hey! So you ate down in the basement, and I
That's so
remember going,
funny.
someday I'm going to get to sit at the adults' table.
Yeah.
And all you had to do was say, which one of them is going to die so I could get that chair. Because that's the only way you're going to get there. Now you wish the whole table was filled and I'd go back to sitting at the kids'
Yeah,
table. Because
absolutely.
they're all gone.
True that. True that. Well, it's funny. I didn't have that experience. I know. I'm happy about like not having to not speak Italian. I don't know why we got lucky that way, but that may be because who was surrounding you in Jersey? Were you like the only Italian family?
No.
Oh, so everybody.
My neighborhood was all Italian, and they did speak Italian. There's an Italian-American club in my hometown. Well, see, I was born in Jersey City, but now I live in the suburbs. There's an Italian-American club in the suburbs. You have to be from Mondazzole. They won't let you in.
Wow.
Isn't that
Like
amazing?
a social club?
It's a social club. But there's a town in Mondazzole called Scotch Plains, and the town I grew up in is Scotch Plains. So
That's amazing.
it's starting to dwindle.
Yeah. I mean, where I'm from in Brooklyn, like you had like every fourth block, there would be like a social club. And probably, I mean, I don't want to get into the mob but you know, that was kind of like what it was. And all the guys would sit outside and they'd smoke and play cards and they would play Scopa. And it was only guys allowed in there, like at the social clubs. But I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that anywhere else I've ever been, you know, outside of my neighborhood.
The city I was born in is called Jersey City. It's right outside Newark Airport. This is Newark, New Jersey, Hoboken, New Jersey, and Jersey City. So that little cluster is where you found huge Italian communities because that's where Ellis Island is.
Right.
And then there's the argument, where is the Statue of Liberty? What's in the water? Is it on the Jersey side or is it on the New York side?
Oh,
Well,
that's
depends on
right.
where you look at it.
That's right.
So that's where the old Italians were coming from when they were coming from Italy and they went to Ellis Island and they spread out. You either got New York or you got New Jersey
That's
because
right.
that's where they were going.
That's right.
So when I was a kid and we moved out of the city, which would have looked like Brooklyn, only really, really small compared to Brooklyn,
Right.
very small.
Right.
We grew up on the stoop. We grew up in the buildings. We grew up in the neighborhood. There was the guys down the block. It was the whole 9 yards. But when you moved to the suburbs, completely different. And you'd see a deer running on your front
Yeah.
lawn, and you're like, wow, did you see that thing?
How old were you when you moved to the suburbs?
Only 10.
wow.
10. But my grandmother owned the house in Jersey City.
So you would go back.
So that's where you went every Sunday, and you didn't know any better. You figured this is the way life is.
Yeah.
Where my grandma grew everything. I mean, there was a horse in my grandmother's yard.
Wow.
I'm like, Grandma, why do you have a horse? Well, where are you going to put it? That was the answer. Where are you going to put
What
it?
am I going to do?
You got to put it over somewhere. It's a horse.
But that's kind of
Turtles.
great because you had the best of both worlds. You had
Yeah.
a little bit of a country vibe, and then you had
The city. Not
That's
only that,
amazing.
you were Catholic. You were petrified of everything.
Yeah.
Everything is a sin, except for bingo.
That's so true.
I do have to say
Everything
this,
was
though.
a sin.
When we would say things like this, oh, they're from Brooklyn, we were petrified.
Yeah.
We were petrified. They're from Brooklyn? Oh, shit, man. Don't mess with anybody from Brooklyn. And how about this one? In Staten Island. Staten Island? Oh, God, they're from Staten Island.
Yeah. But that was
And
a different
they were
thing.
like the
They
same
weren't-
people.
They, but I don't know if I can even say this. Not really.
You can.
Not really.
What?
No, I mean, just the people in Staten Island are kind of different than Brooklyn. And even though it's just separated by the Verrazano Bridge, which is where my house, by the way, that's where I'm from. Like you could see the Verrazano Bridge from my house. And that's the house that I grew up in and we just sold, 5 years ago, whatever. And we had it since 1950.
You have a house, or it was like a row home?
Two houses side by side. We grew up in one, and then when the people died next door who were Norwegian, my father bought next door, and we moved next door in 1976. I never forget, it was the bicentennial, and then we rented out and we became landlords. But you could see the Verrazano Bridge from there. But I think it's true what you're saying. Brooklyn people, first I'll just say Brooklyn girls are known to be tougher. And they also had like the reputation of being like the foxes, like a little bit more, I don't know, sexy, or they wore their sex more than other boroughs. And just you didn't want to mess with a Brooklyn girl. I remember getting in a fight. It was my first fight, and I was so scared. I was going out with this guy, and he was the neighborhood guy that all the girls wanted, and I guess I pissed off the girl in the next neighborhood. They were tougher, and I was much more insulated, and I was like just from the old country, I was not like, what's the word, I wasn't sophisticated that way with guys and stuff. Anyway, to make a long story short, they came after me, and my family got involved, and people came and rescued me from the girl, but she was about to kick my ass. It was very scary. Very scary. Isn't that something?
City girls seem to find out early.
Right.
And there is something
making me remember
very,
so
very
many things.
sexy about a girl from Brooklyn. That little attitude, that the perfume, the glitter, the glam,
The nails.
the don't fuck with me, I
hair.
will break your neck. I love you so much, but
Yeah.
if you mess with me, I'll cut your throat while you're sleeping.
I will fuck you up. And then the nail and the hand and the pinky. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. And then people in Queens talk different. It's more whiny and whatever.
Yes. Long
then-
Island.
Brooklyn is more like get the fuck. It's more staccato. I don't know what it's not like that now.
It's
A lot of
not.
things
It's
has
probably
changed.
a little bit more watered down. But
Watered down, yeah.
if you think about the 5 boroughs, so what are the 5 boroughs? Brooklyn, Long Island, right?
No.
No?
Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, Bronx. Oh, Long Island.
Long
Brooklyn.
Island's New York.
Queens, Manhattan, Bronx. I guess no. I don't
There's
think
one
Long
more.
Island is wait. Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan. It's only 4 boroughs. Is it 5 boroughs? Oh my God.
Amen. Let's see if we can't get somebody to say it. Wait.
How many boroughs?
We had the German
Amen,
club in
Mike,
North
amen.
Plainfield.
What are you
New York
saying, Cutland
Italians.
Frame? What are you saying, Genziano over there? Amen.
Staten
Amen
Island.
to
Somebody
what?
said Staten Island. I remember.
Oh, Staten Island.
Staten
Oh, sorry. The whole table. The whole table.
You
Went.
made a mess.
Oh my God, Staten Island. That's a borough. And I guess people don't even realize this. You want a little trivia?
Yeah.
It's not trivia. It's actually interesting. Brooklyn is larger. It's the largest borough, and it's larger than all of the other boroughs put together. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, it's massive. I never went to like East Brooklyn, South Brooklyn. I just grew up in my little neighborhood, and then I went into the city.
The city.
Antoinette, you love the city. You're such a city girl. You're so sophisticated. And I was like, yeah,
Do
asshole.
you remember we said that too? I don't think
Yeah, you're
anybody
so
ever
city.
said we're going into Manhattan. We're going to the city.
Yeah, you're going to
We're
the
going
city.
to the city. Ooh.
In the village.
The
You like the
village.
village, Antoinette?
Yeah, you're going down there.
Oh, yeah, you like the freaks in the village?
You're not an uptown person.
Yeah.
Huh? What's wrong with West 57?
West 57.
Let's take in some questions,
All right,
okay?
let's do it.
Antoinette Peragine not only is a stand-up comedian, she's not only an actress. Now she has a show.
Which was born out of COVID.
So tell us about your show and where we can watch it.
And Red, you were my first guest on my show.
Yes. And now?
And now my show, first of all, my show is on YouTube and it's on my platform, Antoinette and Friends. My show got canceled because of COVID. And I was connecting with Sinbad, and Sinbad and I were going to do a show called Antoinette and Friends.
Do you know about Sinbad now?
I do.
How is he doing?
I don't know how he's doing. I just know that he's on the mend.
Okay.
That's the last thing that I know about him. But anyway, so COVID canceled my show, and then I was like, fuck this. I'm going to just keep going. And the Canyon Club in Agora Hills gave me the stage, and I just started turning on the camera and just started interviewing. And then Mike came on, and Tammy came on, George Lopez came on, Stuttering John came on. Then it just went into like Norman Seeff came on. It like went away from comedy, and I started to interview. Sharon Gless came on. I have a very big guest coming on that I can't say, that is like a game changer, and I'm like very excited. Can't say it. But anyway, so I love talking to people. So I'm like in my happy place when I'm having this kind of conversation. I just love people. So that's like what happened to me. So that was the positive thing that happened from COVID. And anyway, but thank you to Mike Marino, because he came on my show first, and I just love me some Mike Marino because he makes me laugh. I could listen to Mike like days and days on end. But then when he asked me to come back, it was my first comeback show, so I'm really happy. So
Well,
this is
we're gonna do it
We're gonna do
again.
it again. We're gonna do it again.
They can't wait for us to come back because the show was just packed. Everybody had a good time.
We did a good time, yeah.
And we're going to watch your show and stay
Thank
in
you.
tune with you. So
Thank you.
tell everybody exactly where you can see
Antoinette
it.
and Friends. You can go to my YouTube channel. It's called Antoinette and Friends. You can see all of my interviews with all of the different people. We go live, so I do cast a wide net when we promote, and then you can come see it. I'm hopeful that a big network will pick it up, and that's what we're working on.
And she'll be the new Jay Leno. And then I'll come on the show. Hey, let me tell you what we've been doing. This is what I'm working on.
Like all proper. Like all proper.
I hope that happens.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let's get some questions for Antoinette right now. We've
Thank
been
you.
chit-chatting for a long time, and we got to get going. So let's see. Anybody got a question for Antoinette? Right over there's Camariri Zeppeli Mix. We just got done talking about you, Joe.
That was
and
great.
So great that you're now at Foggia Italian Market in Delhi. Boom. There you
Look at
are.
that.
There you are.
We're so excited. That's
Yeah.
really good news. I'm really excited. I'm going to spread the word on my show as well.
All right. So here's Kevin Epstein, and he's asking the question, when are you live?
Oh, when am I live? I just go live. I turn on my camera, Kevin, when I get inspired. But we interview somebody for the show. We interview and then we edit it. And so when I know it's going to be on, then I start promoting it. So Kevin, if you follow me, follow Antoinette Peragine, you'll know. You'll know immediately, because that's where I post everything. And we give everybody a really long lead time so you can make plans to be there. And the thing that's different about Antoinette and Friends is we usually go live with the guest for a live Q&A after the show. And so we all watch it together, and then you can ask the celebrity or whoever they are, and you can just connect with them directly. So that's kind of a really cool thing. So anyway, thank you, Kevin.
Appreciate your question, Kevin. Antoinette and Friends, Ryan Perez.
That's my producer.
Oh,
Hi,
all right.
Ryan.
Hey, Ryan. How you doing, man?
He's
Nice
the bomb.
to see
Ryan
you.
Perez is the bomb. I think I see my son. I can't read it.
Richie Verdoliva.
No, that's not my son.
I can't get this thing to move. Oh, there it is. All right. So, Camariri, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The 5 boroughs of Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Bronx, Staten Island. So he says,
Island, yeah.
Richie Verdoliva says, my mom grew up on Hart Street and my dad was from East New York. Thank you for
Beautiful.
that.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you, Richie. Staten Island, somebody said, we had
That's
a German
Kevin.
club.
Kevin said that. Kevin
Italian
Epstein, I'm going to
accent,
follow
very
you.
different from New Jersey or New York.
Totally. Who's Ingrid?
Ingrid
Becker.
is German, and she went to my high school in Scotch
Oh my
Plains.
God! Do you speak German? Is she
I don't
really
speak
German?
German. You know who
I
speaks
speak
German?
a little German.
Tatiana.
Tatiana, leider
she's
nicht,
from
aber
Germany.
hoffentlich bald.
All right.
That means I don't speak German, but I would like to.
Is Bill Boyd, who's here. He's a producer.
Somebody, James Kaufman, you just passed. He was saying something.
James Kaufman. James Crothium.
I'm
eating with you guys too. Hey,
How
don't
you
ever let
doing?
us eat alone.
Mala figura.
That's JJ. He's actually one of the biggest stage producers at the Paramount Theater in Asbury Park, New Jersey, where all the
Amazing.
famous stars come from,
That's
like
my
Bruce Springsteen. And
Asbury Park,
okay,
Bruce
there's your
Springsteen.
link, Antoinette and
Oh,
friends.
thank you. There's my link, you guys.
Thanks,
You
Ryan.
guys, you gals, there's my link.
All right,
Just-
let's put that up there. Any questions
you.
over here? You two should do a New York show. I think
Yeah,
we did.
I think that's what we did on Saturday night. And I think that's what this is.
Yeah, it's New
This is
York,
what we're
New
doing.
Jersey show.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the same. It's the same
Tim
shit.
Cast Comedy. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see everybody.
Really nice to see everybody. It's such a warm vibe. And isn't it funny? Like you can have the screen and you can feel everybody.
Yes,
It's a really nice thing. And I'm really grateful to you, Mike.
absolutely.
I love you.
All right, well, we
I
gotta
love
get
you.
going.
I love Mike Marino and I love comedy and I love you all and I love our community, our comedy community. And I don't know, just keep on trucking, keep on laughing, keep on eating food,
Right.
Italian food.
And don't forget, vote for me for president in 2024. I've been running for 16 years. Jesus
Yeah, but
Christ.
this is your year.
Hey, there's one of my favorite singers, April Diamond Music.
Wow.
She was
Hi,
supposed to
April.
come on the show, and I'm going to try my best to get her to come on the show and do my morning walk. So, hi, April Diamond. This is my friend Antoinette.
Hi, April.
We've been talking for an hour. We got to get going. But if you come on my show, let me know when it's my turn. Come on over now.
Now.
We got so
No,
much
we got
food.
so much food. I got leftovers,
We've been
April. Look at
eating
this.
it,
Look at this.
You come on my show, you go home with a doggy bag. All right, we got to get going. Thank you,
right.
everybody, for watching another episode of Live from My Mother's Basement with yours truly, Mike Marino.
Thank you, Mike.
Let's make America Italian again,
Please.
everybody, right?
Oh,
You
my
know the
God.
motto. You don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, and you don't say nothing. And how do I end every single one of my broadcasts by always saying the same thing, but before I say it, stay in touch with us, okay? Not only we're here on Instagram, not only we're here on Facebook, but Live from My Mother's Basement airs on iTunes, Google, Spotify, Anchor, and Italian American Radio in New York City. I don't know if you know those guys.
Really? Oh my God.
Italian
we're gonna need to
American
talk
Radio
about that.
in New York City.
No shit.
And you can
You got it
listen to
going
us
on,
with
Mike.
any of your favorite podcast apps. I'm also on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok. And if you don't mind, keep on sending me money on Patreon.
Please. Let's
I
go
really
one more quarter,
appreciate that.
One more quarter.
One more quarter.
Come
Quarter?
on. Come
Can you send us a
on.
quarter?
One.
Ah,
One.
ah,
Let me hear
ah.
one.
Well, this is how I end my show. I always say the same thing. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Don't take no shit from nobody. Good night. I can't stop laughing. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye. Hey, folks, I hope you're enjoying watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm going to have a lot of great guests on the show in the future. So if you like it, hit like. You could also leave a comment. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch other funny videos. And you could also listen to my podcast on your favorite podcast app like Spotify and iTunes.